Number 9, From Russia with Love. Yeah, you knew some of these Sean Connery films would be pretty high on this list, and they are. Some of these earlier Bond films are good, and they're the reason why we still have Bond films. From Russia with Love is a film that I remember first seeing as a kid, but I didn't get it, because the plot line from Russia with Love is very complicated. It's one of those that I was watching, and of course I remember the great action set pieces, and there's a lot of them. Bond takes out a helicopter, and he does this thing where he kicks some fuel tanks on some boats that are chasing him, and then shoots the fuel tanks and they blow up, and I'm going like, whoa, hey, this is great. I think I mentioned that as a kid when I saw Bond, that I just really thought this guy was the shiz, and I thought man, I want to be James Bond when I grow up, even though of course he treats women terribly, and we'll get into some of how Bond's work does affect him, okay? We will. In this film, I think Bond's trying to stop somebody who wants to defect, and they're trying to do it by getting a code machine or something. There's a MacGuffin device in this film, for sure. This also introduces a character who has blades on their shoes, which I have to admit, okay, that's pretty awesome. And that's pretty much what a lot of people remember in this film was blade shoes here. I know she has a name and stuff like that, and Spectre is also put in here, and I think we see the cat guy from the first time, Blofeld. At that time he was stroking his cat, and you never saw his face and stuff like that. I think this is his first appearance. This film actually ties in a lot with Dr. No, which I'll get to, because Dr. No is a pretty good film, but I think it's actually kind of interesting. There are things that are mentioned in this film that reference Dr. No, which I kind of like the fact. I think these earlier Bond films were trying to do that. They were trying to create this kind of connected sort of storyline. In other words, they were trying to be the Avengers before the Avengers. So, too bad that they never really did that, because most of the James Bond films after this, after Goldfinger, were very much standalone films. And I think they sort of went with that formula because they realized that they didn't want to create this big soap opera thing. Too bad. People love that now. Yeah, so they really could have been ahead of their time, and in a way they kind of were. There are things in James Bond film that just okay, this references this references this. And watching all 25 of them, you really get that. This is a film that I think is really good at showing spy Bond, actual spy Bond. It's probably the most realistic spy film of the whole James Bond thing. I was looking at this film and I'm going okay, this could probably happen. Granted, the action set pieces at the end, I'm kind of going okay, that's a bit over the top, but that's Bond for you. But for the most part, I was going okay, this feels like something that could actually happen here, which I have to like, the gritty realism of it. Yeah.